What's happening? Nick Martinez here, and I am super excited to share with you some more strategies to really maximize and take your lives to the next level. For those of you that don't know, I've been doing lives for the last couple of years. I remember the first one I did, I was scared. I probably had 1 or 2 people on. Since then, we've implemented some different tips and different strategies to just maximize the engagement level and really just drive community through these lives. So we've learned a ton. And this is part 3 of a 3-part series of just how to maximize lives. So if you haven't seen part 1 or 2 after you watch this, be sure to go back and check those out because they have some great tips that are really setting you up for what we're going to talk about now. So I've got the top 3 ways to truly drive your lives and maximize your engagement. And it's actually simpler than you might think. All right, so the top 3 ways are comments, reactions, and share. I'm gonna explain what each of these mean in detail and really how to drive comments, how to drive reactions, how to drive shares. Because when you get started, regardless of if you have 3 people watching or 4 people watching or 50, the mechanics of actually doing the live and as you're interacting is the same. In fact, one thing, this is just a little pro tip, don't let the number of people that are on there steal your thunder. Don't let the fact that it's 2 or the fact that it's 1 keep you from actually sharing from the heart, from actually being real and from really like giving it your all. Because guess what? It may only be 1 or 2 live, but there's gonna be tons of people that it comes through their feed later, and your energy that's on that live, they're gonna feed on. They're gonna watch it just like a video, but people will actually watch live replays more than they'll watch videos, especially because of how Facebook does things. So some people need to take a little post-it note and put it over that number so you can't see it, because it kind of screws with your mind when you see it go up to 10 and then all of a sudden it's down to 5 and then it goes up to 15 and then it's down to 1. You're like, what am I doing wrong? Chances are you're not doing anything wrong. People are just scrolling, right? They're just chilling. So in that though, how can you increase engagement? How can you absolutely maximize Facebook algorithm so that Facebook puts it in front of more people? Because the reality is maybe you have 200 friends, maybe you have 500 friends, maybe you have 5,000 friends. Facebook's gonna show your stuff to those people based upon the engagement that you're getting. So the first step is comments. You need to get more comments. Basically, if you're just talking at people and you're not asking questions, then it's just like me ranting at you, right? What's the point of being live? I can do that on video. But if you're asking questions, like here's a jar of jelly beans. How many jelly beans do you think are in this jar? And you're getting people to say, oh, there's 20, oh, there's 50, oh, there's 5,000. What you're doing is driving comments. I always love to ask people, hey, where are you watching from? Type the city that you're in, and I usually ask some sort of question. Type the city that you're in and the temperature that it is outside. Do you live somewhere crazy hot, like Phoenix or something? I had somebody on that was in Phoenix, it was like 110 degrees out. That's nuts. So if you live in an environment where there's an extreme, talk about your extreme and then ask people what their weather is. I did that all the time. I live in Minnesota. In the winter, it's like minus 40 degrees here. And I wouldn't stop talking about it, but it was fun because we got to engage with people. I'd ask them what was happening in their neck of the woods. This creates like that engagement. I love to know where people are from. I love to know what's going on outside their window. If you're in like a health environment, I love to ask, hey, what did you do today for exercise? How did you move your body today? If you're talking about food or something, ask them what they had for dinner. Or ask them what they're having for dessert. Or like if it's an accountability thing, have them give you something on a scale of 1 to 5. Hey, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being awful, 5 being amazing, how was your blank? We do that all the time. And what it does is it actually creates a back and forth between you and the people that you're living with. It creates interaction. Then you can have them ask you questions like, hey, ask me anything, whatever your area of expertise is, whatever you like to do. Hey, if you're a mom, ask me anything about being a mom. Maybe you're giving some mom tips. Maybe you're asking them, hey, tell me the ages of your kids. The one I always love, which works, like it creates engagement every time because people can relate, is do you guys have any pets? How many of you have dogs? If you have a dog, type I have a dog in the comments and then tell me what kind of dog you have. Like easy. So that brings us to the next piece, right? The next one is reactions. These are my favorite. Reactions are just so much fun because they spice up your life a little bit. I think they're a little bit like fireworks. And I always try to give people to give me some fireworks. So as you're talking, you're engaging, right? We just talked about getting comments. reactions are kind of the same thing. You're asking for them. You have to usually ask for what you want to get, right? So if I'm saying, hey, how many of you like going to Target? If you like Target, give me some hearts. If you're more of a Walmart shopper, give me the thumbs ups. And sometimes you can have a competition between two things. Hey, if you'd prefer to have a Chiweenie dog, give me some hearts. If you prefer to have a black lab, I don't know where the black lab is, give me some thumbs ups. And then before you know, it's a little competition. So you're like, hey, I'm thinking that Cheweenie's winning. And now people are going, blah, 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 blah. So this does two things. One, it's fun, right? People like clicking, they like being engaged, they like to feel like their voice is being heard, and that's the only way it can be heard on Facebook Live. The second thing is Facebook says, oh my gosh, this is a really good live. Like everybody on this live is having fun. They're engaging, they're giving reactions, they're reacting. Like we better drive more people to it. So they're gonna show it to more of your friends. Like that is creating engagement. That's truly like having fun with the people. People will enjoy being on your lives, and it's just asking. So there's a whole bunch of different ways. Like if you love this, give me some hearts. If you don't like this, give me some thumbs ups. If you were shocked by this, give me the shocked face. If you're having an amazing day, give me the smiley face. Like just utilize those emojis and ask for them specifically in different things that you're talking about. It is a little bit of a muscle. So if you want to, as you're doing a live, you can put down like a little post-it note on something that says, ask more questions. Another thing that says, ask for hearts. And just ask. Because if you ask on a live, people will engage. Here's the black lab, by the way. Now she's having a little bit of fun. But again, like just like I would on a live, I'd probably introduce the dogs because they're making noise. You can hear them. You're like, why is the camera jiggling? It's because it's real, right? That brings us to our next thing. This last piece is key, and it's the concept of sharing. Sharing is caring, right? So when you're doing a live and you've engaged people, you've gotten comments, you've gotten reactions, people are having fun with what you're talking about. Maybe there's 3 people on, maybe there's 10, maybe there's 100. It doesn't matter what the number is, but as you're engaging with them, ask for them to share. It's just like asking for a comment. It's just like asking for a reaction of some sort. It's saying, hey, if you like what you're hearing, click the share button. If you think that the people in your community need to hear the message that we just talked about, click share. You can also invite them to share and give them a shout out. You can say, hey, I'm so excited to be sharing this content with you or to be here with you. Click the share button if you love this and type I've shared in the comments because I'd love to give you a shout out. Now you're doing 2 things. 1, you're getting them to share. 2, you're actually getting them to type I've shared, so you're getting a comment, which is kind of fun. And then 3, I guess it's 3 things. You're actually like you're playing to they want to hear their name. Everybody wants to hear their name on a Facebook Live, right? So when you see them come in, I always welcome Chrissy, welcome Q, welcome Ember. Those are the 3 people that are in the room with me right now. But I always welcome them, right? And then when they type I've shared, I say, hey, thank you, John, for sharing. Thank you, Susie, for sharing. Thank you, Beth, for sharing. Because I'm calling them out. And before you know it, it creates this domino effect. Everybody wants to share so that you'll say their name. It's a weird thing, but it works like that. So have them type, I've shared in the comments. Hey, I would really appreciate if you guys share this. I'm just trying to get the word out. Type I've shared in the comments after you've done it, and I'll give you a shout out. It works. It's amazing, and it's simple. So the sharing piece is just a little, it's like that 5% at the end that if you actually get good at implementing it, before you know it, your content starts to snowball and your lives go from 2 to 3 people to 5 to 15 to 20, maybe even 50, even 100, and you are starting to explode lives in social media. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you're starting to realize how simple it is to truly drive engagement and drive your lives. Because if you focus on having more people comment, having more reactions from the same people. You could have 3 people and you could have 100 reactions during a live, just from those 3 people if you ask for it, if you call it out, and having things shared. If you only had 5, 10 people on, but you got 3 or 4 of them to share, then guess what? Now your content is being seen by all of their friends. It's going into their news feeds and it's starting to grow your audience. And the next time that you go live, maybe there's an extra couple people. The time after that, there's a few more. Because now people are engaged with you, they're excited about what you're doing, and they want to listen. So remember, it's simple. This concept isn't actually that complicated. It's just a matter of doing it. Most of us never get started. Most of us never go live because we're either too afraid, or we don't think we know what to say, or we don't think we're going to do a great job. The big thing here is don't mess up good for perfect. Just get started. Just get on that live. Start to implement a few of these things. You might have to watch these 3 videos multiple times. You know, you might watch it this week, do a few lives, watch them again next week, do a few lives, watch them again in a month, and watch as the different information in here starts to sink in, and you start to modify and transform the way that you're going live, and look at all of the engagement that you're gonna start to get. So I love being live on social media. It is so much fun. It brings value to a lot of people. And I know that you have a story to tell. You have value to give. If you tap into that and then use live as a platform to give it out to the world, you're not just gonna have fun doing it. You're not just gonna grow a business. If you're growing a business, you're not just gonna share what's going on in your family, but you're gonna impact the people that are watching you. You're gonna actually have a shift. And that's the true power of this platform of live on social media. So with that, you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hopefully that you found value. Leave a comment below with what you took away or how this has impacted you. I'd love to hear about it. And have an amazing day.